everybody. It's Gail, the Happy Stamper. Thanks for stopping by today. I wanted to share with you how I mass produce cards. I've got a lot of thank you cards to put out to all the wonderful people who sent cards, sympathy cards, and whatnot to me. So I wanted to make some really cute but simple thank you cards. So I wanted to show you, with Christmas coming and Thanksgiving, I know mass producing can seem very overwhelming to a lot of people, but if you break it down and do it in steps, it's really not that hard. So this is the card that I'm going to mass produce for you today, and I just wanted to show you how I do it. So let me bring the camera around over here and we'll get started. And I hope I don't make you dizzy. All right, and don't mind my messy craft room. Actually, this is a lot cleaner than it was the other day, so I am making some progress here. All right, so I've got my papers cut, and I have shown you what my design is going to be. And this is really simple to do, so don't feel overwhelmed if you are going to be doing your Christmas cards soon. All right, so what I did was I first designed my card. I figure out what I'm going to do, and I try to keep it as simple as possible. This is the card that I'm going to show you, and I'm using old designer series paper from Stampin' Up, and this is how I do it. And what I do is I start with my 8.5 by 11 sheets of cardstock, and I use my Carl cutter, and I just cut everything at 4.5, so my card ends up at 4.25 by 5.5. And I can cut like 20 sheets of cardstock with my Carl cutter at a time, so it really makes things move quickly. So if you don't have one, I would suggest, investing in one if you teach classes and things like that, or do a lot of mass producing. And I do a lot of mass producing when I have cards here. I'll make, 25 of them at a time. So that's what I do. I start with my base. Then I go through and I pick out what colors I want to use. And again, these are each, some of them are different, but this is the color palette that I chose. And this is some designer series paper from Stampin' Up that is retired but came out last year, so I wanted to use it. And then I just go through and I cut my papers as I need them. And this is cut at 1.5 by 4.25, and I just cut those squares out, or rectangle shapes out, and then I use my punch and I punch everything all at the same time. So while I'm cutting these, I cut all of them. Then I punch all of them. When I cut these, I cut all of them. Okay? And these are 4.25 by 3. Then what I do is, for my focal image, I will stamp them all out on a sheet of Whisper White cardstock. And I make it, oh goodness, this is probably about 4.5 inches wide. And I'll use both sides so I can use up as much paper as I can. So it would look like this. And I just punch them all out, and then I use my punch to make this part go really quickly as well. So I just simply punch these all out like so, for however many that I need. Like that. Okay? So that's how I cut all those out. And I think if you just do everything at one time, it's like when I used to do nails. I used to do everything to all 10, then you go back and start over again. That really helps keep things moving quickly. So let me just show you how I'm going to quickly put one of these together, and it's super simple. This will be my super simple Sunday video. Excellent. Okay, So I'm using our snail adhesive, and I am just going to layer this at the bottom of my card. And if it's over a little bit on the side, that's okay. I will trim it. I made them a little bit big because my first card here was a little bit short, just a hair. So I made them a little bit bigger. But again, they're 4 1/4 wide. And then I simply take my next piece that I'm going to layer. And I would do this to all of these. I would first do all of these. Then I would go back and do all of these pieces. Okay, so you're not flip-flopping back and forth like so. So then I would apply this piece to all 25 cards. Then I would go back and I would get my little discs here, and then I would apply these. These I'm going to put on a little pop dot, and I'm just going to peel the back of it off. And then I will simply put that on the front. It says, "For you." This is the Punch Bunch stamp set. This was, I believe, a celebration set. And I am just also going to use a little rhinestone. I got these at like the dollar section at the craft store. And I'm using the really, really super sharp poker from my matte stack, which I just love. I love this. So this is also my tools for setting brads and whatnot. So be really careful with this. It's very sharp. So then I would just go through all of these and attach them to all of my cards. And that's what I do, folks. That is how I mass produce all of my cards, and I do it rather quickly. So as you can see, it doesn't take very long. So I hope that gives you some inspiration with Christmas coming, and that perhaps it won't be too overwhelming for you. But if you just break it all down and do it, you know, step by step by step, it goes very quickly. So just assembly line process, and it's a great way to use up some of your different papers, different scraps and things that you may have, some designer series paper, and they really go very quickly. And so those are my thank you cards that I will be sending out, and I hope that gives you some inspiration. So have a terrific day, and I'll talk to you guys soon, and thanks for visiting with the Happy Stamper. Bye-bye.